fancied myself as a green-fingered allotment keeper. In my old home, I spent many hours turning the front garden into a place to grow fruit and vegetables. I built raised beds and filled them with nutrient-rich fresh compost and planted various seeds in an attempt to grow my own vegetables. I then stepped back and allowed nature to do its thing. By the end of the first year, I appear to have had a level of success. We were drowning in courgettes. We had an abundance of potatoes, and I was rather successful at growing French beans. I couldn't quite work out what the fuss was everyone was making about the difficulty of allotment owning. To me, it was simple as putting in some seeds, watering them a bit, and allowing the natural cycle of sun and rain to offer the plants all that was needed to thrive, until I came and harvested what they had to offer. I'd soon discover there was always one major flaw in my plan. The following year, I applied a little bit of thought, I rotated my crops, and then attempted the same philosophy as I had the year before. I threw in the seeds, watered them a bit, and stepped back to allow God to do the rest. It turns out that my hands-off, survival of the fittest method of trying to grow crops was not very successful. Some of the nourishment that had gone from the soil, and although I saw some fruit from my little labour, it was not the sort of growth that would sustain a family. Not to worry, I thought. Well, maybe it was just a bad summer. So in the third year, I went ahead with the same sort of technique. My only success, it would appear, was the radishes. It turns out that in all aspects of life, if you want an abundant harvest, you have to be intentional in the way that you plan for growth. Yes, the normal patterns of the seasons will help, but unless you give your seed some time, attention and planning, you will not see the sort of growth that is possible. The same is true for the seeds of faith that we plant, both in our individual lives and in the life of the church. If we wish to see health and growth, then we need to think about the sort of soil that we're planting seeds of faith into, and how we shape ourselves with attention and time so that we see the fruits of our faith. The 5 branches of our Diocesan Vision helps us to grow as disciples and in our discipleship so that we can be people who live out the Great Commission to go and make disciples of all nations. It calls us to think about how we grow our own faith and how we'll help to grow our church communities, to be places where God's abundance of grace is shared. My hope and prayer for you all as you grapple with the Diocesan Vision, applying it to your context, that you will grow deep roots of faith personally and collectively as you discover a personal level of confidence in sharing your faith.